does.
Right. Well, I'm first of all, I'm one of 5 directors. Healthy Lifestyle is actually based on Tong Street, and we cover the whole of South Bradford. But a lot of our work is predominantly in the Homewood area, but we do spread across Wyke and out that way. We run the range of projects that you would probably expect a healthy living centre to run. So we run numerous diet, nutrition courses, teaching people how to cook and eat, cook from basics, that it isn't expensive to eat healthily.
And those projects are life-changing. I think when I was a lone parent, I went along to a course like that. I wasn't all that confident, really, having not cooked for a while, and kind of really just found it incredibly helpful, the food groups that I should be eating, and I've gone on to kind of teach nutrition afterwards, but I think it's just so valuable just to kind of cut all the myths and know what actually is a healthy meal.
Yeah. I think one of the things that does concern me, obviously we have to submit figures of numbers of people we've worked with for the funding that we get, and each person that comes to the course is counted as one, but they go home and they work with the whole family, so it cascades. So the numbers we actually produce that we've worked with are nothing compared with the reach that you have on any of these sort of projects, because obviously the whole families are learning from the person who's been on the course. We also run exercise classes for all age groups, so we work with children, we work at seated exercise with older people, and we run numerous exercise sessions both across in Wyke and Homewood around the Zumba, more sort of cardiac type, exercise. We do a lot around mental health because many people we work with haven't even got the confidence to start coming on the cook and eats, the exercise. A lot of people have lost, I would say, what we call social skills. They're isolated, they've not been mixing with people, and to just go along and say, oh, come to this, come to that, and give them a leaflet. They can't. It's a quantum leap.
It's a very big, long journey. I run a wellbeing business in Sunbury 12 at the moment, and I think that I do know that people come in and they talk about the things that they want, and it's kind of quite a big step going from feeling not very confident and anxious to even kind of even thinking about going into work or anything like that. It's a very long process for some people.
It is, and I think the fact we've been there 15 years now, and I will say the first couple of years we didn't reach that many people because we were new, and it's like, who are they, and they don't trust you. But people now, they know us, they trust us, they rely on us, and what worries me is I think the council have to make difficult decisions, and it is so hard because the cuts have to be made. But there is I do pick up, there's this sort of thing, well, if we aren't here, they'll join something else or they'll go here. But a lot of our people come to us because we're on the doorstep and because they know us.
And it costs a lot to get into town when you're not working.
Well, a lot won't go. They literally will not get on a bus and go to activities. That scares me because we've picked people up who have been on the verge of suicide, more than people would imagine, and we've got them in a good place now, and we're still supporting them, and we might be 2-3 years down the line with some people. We could potentially close on the 1st of April, and we're talking big numbers. In our interview on the radio, we did a thing yesterday, and they were saying we'd work with 1,500. We worked with the public health funding, 1,700 new users last year. We also pull in other funds to do other projects from Trust, Lottery, Comic Relief, and their numbers on top of that. So it's phenomenal. But the sad news is that the funding we get from public health is for 17 projects, but that does cover our overheads, our rent, our insurance, things like that. The money that we get from other small pockets tends to be for wages. It's not for overheads. So once our overheads go, it's going to have the domino effect where all the other projects are going to go.
And I mean, one of the things that I would say, because it sounds like what you're doing is very well needed and really will save an awful lot of money in the long run, because people actually having a healthier diet, they're going to have less diabetes, less kind of like all kind of turning up at A&E, and less hospital appointments further down the line. So this money really would be a big investment in people's health and well-being.
Yeah, but it's not, sadly, it's not just that. The GPs refer people into us. They deal with the medical problems, the tablets, whatever they need, but the underlying problems like bereavement, grief, people of domestic abuse, alcohol issues, whatever, they refer them into us. A lot of people are referred into us from the doctors. So we're sort of helping the GPs. But when we pick them up, so say it's somebody with bereavement problems, we will work, but while working with them, we also then, once they get to know us, introduce them into the other health activities. So it's like the holistic approach. We're supporting them from every angle, if you like, and it's heartbreaking. We are all devastated. I think the hardest thing, personally, for me, is that they are cutting our whole budget.
Well, you can't sound defeatist. It sounds like we've got to find a way to make it work.
Well, it's almost like nobody's thought about what is how can we keep this going, even maybe on the budget they've got, because you know and I know, once a service closes, it never opens again. Or
and
if
it's
it does,
take so much more money to pour it into it, and people will come along and say afterwards, this is what needs to happen. So if there's any local businesses in the area listening in, then what can they do?
Well, we will take sponsorship. Any small amount, any company who feels that they can help us in any way, they would be recognised, even if it's for 6 months or a year. They feel they can contribute, and they feel it isn't very much. Anything will help us. We've cut our overheads down over the years to the very minimum that we've got. I've got staff who never claim mileage, who are working 8-10 hours a week over what they are getting paid. And the other thing, which I should have mentioned earlier, we have a bank of over 30 volunteers, and a lot of those are people who came to us with issues. We've worked with them, and they've been so appreciative of the changes in their lives. They want to give something back, so they are working for us. So that extends our reach.
It sounds like you really have got a very empowering project.
But they will. If we go, the volunteers go as well. And then where does that leave them? That's the other question. They will not go into town, like I've said, and we are the last adult project left standing now in the Homewood area, because all of the others have closed. There are things for youth, there are things for children, but adults, nothing. And it's I can't say enough, really. It's just dreadful.
Well, what you need is somebody with somebody with skills like from the Dragon's Den or something like that. You need your own Alan Sugar, luckily. So if anybody has got any business skills or any great fundraising ideas, maybe they've got a little bit of time, or maybe they've got some money, or for some people as well, those people sometimes occasionally leave money in their wills to charities to kind of help them sustain. So lots of kind of help needed. So, Sharon, give out your details and tell them how to get in touch with you. And presumably any offers of support are very welcome.
Right. Do you want me to give you my details now?
Yeah, definitely.
Right. Well, the office number is Bradford 01274 685 449. And would they ask to speak to James? He is taking calls about, obviously, anybody who can help support us. Our email address, my email address, I'll give you my personal email address, because I will be checking those over the weekend. So it's Sharon with one R, dot Rushworth, RUSHWORTH, @gmail.com.
And anybody who's missed us as well, they can ring into BCB and we'll
thank you. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to just explain the situation that we're in. It is really appreciated. Thank you.
Oh, well, just think you're doing some fantastic work. Really kind of think what you're doing is very important. So just can only wish you the best of luck.
Thank you
and
so
hope
much.
somebody listening in can help.
Thank you very much.
Do come back to us and
Lovely.
let us know how
we
you
will.
get on.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
And that was Sharon Rushworth, who is